know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm your host for the English live stream, Toby1, bringing you game number 1 of our best of 3 game. It is the lower bracket final, not to be confused with the consolation final. The winner of this game will play up against the loser of the winners bracket final, which happens directly after this matchup. And we have two teams facing up against each other, which are not really the teams you would have predicted. At least one of the people who've actually been over on Dota 2 Lounge, one of the supporters of this tournament. The primary reason for that is because you would think Navi US and SNA, the two favorites for the American division, will get themselves straight through into the winners bracket final. Now, not to be the case. We had Navi US yesterday go down in a 3-game series. SNA only just scraped through by the skin of their teeth in a 2 games, actually also a 3-game series yesterday. So we had the full 6 games yesterday. Today, though, who knows what we're going to get. Navi US will now go up against the Brazilians. They were knocked down by the Peruvians. They were the team to get themselves through. So, not today. Actually played some really great Dota yesterday, and they'll be battling up against Sneaky Nick's Assassins shortly after the conclusion of this game. And we get a hero which was ignored during the first 2 games of our series yesterday.
10 seconds remaining.
And then was banned throughout the rest of them, be it in the first 2, that happened once,
5
and I remember he was banned
remaining.
out in the second phase the other 2 times. 3 times. Yeah. But he'll get through into the hands of Pain Gaming tonight, and it'll be Terrorblade plus the Skywrath Mage going together, while Fogged, he's sticking with the tried and true combo, which is the Centaur War Runner, as well as a Vengeful Spirit. Normally looks for a combination with the Skywrath Mage, but obviously with the Skywrath Mage already being picked up, that's just not possible. And Pain Gaming do the defensive ban of taking out that Drow Ranger, just out of fear that it'll be a VS, a Drow Ranger, as well as a Visage, all coming up together, and that would be a lot of aura stack up and damage. So they have to be a little bit more cautious about the way they drafted that one. As Navi US, well, they've already taken the Brewmaster out of the pool and also removed the Razor. So surprisingly enough, the Venomancer is going to be selected. We saw the Venomancer. I know Clairvoyance and myself, when we were casting yesterday, had a long conversation about just how powerful Venomancer is against a lot of melee heroes in that middle lane. Just because he's capable of zoning him out. The primary example we were using was a Brewmaster.
Reserve time.
But I'm interested to see if that's meant to be up against somebody else in this game. Should also flag the fact that Navi US, we've switched up our players from yesterday. We actually had a bit of a problem with Way Too Sexy. Way Too Sexy was initially meant to be playing in this game tonight, but the admins actually set up and basically flagged a bit of a problem with their roster because we ended up having Way Too Sexy already playing for SNA during the D2CL. Now, the rules clearly state you cannot use a stand-in for for the tournament if he's already playing for another team, which, even though he left that team almost roughly a month ago, they will hold true to the rules. So SNA, because he played for them, doesn't play anymore, it means that Way 2 will be removed from the Navi US lineup, and we get Ragnarok will come in and play for him. The other one to be a stand-in is Excalibur. So, formerly a Fnatic, a Tinker Extraordinaire. Unfortunately for him, that hero got nerfed to absolute crap. And also, if he wants to, Meepo. He also enjoys that hero a hell of a lot. But Pain Gaming, they're going to keep their bans very much still in the box. They're not going to go too far out of it. So they take out the Invoker. They take out the Drow Ranger. The solid mid-solo. That's all they really need. I don't think Navi US are going to feel too pressured by these bans. It's not blocking out exactly what they're searching for. Korok's still got a lot of different heroes he can choose from. I'm also interested to see how they're going to run the lanes right now. Because where are you going to throw your secondary support? Way Too Sexy? Like, he's big shoes to fill. Excalibur can obviously do it, but Excalibur's used to playing a core more than anything else. Now they actually pick up a Lion. So a VS and a Lion, two very aggressive roaming gankers. When their Finger of Death's off cooldown, the Skywrath Mage better be watching his little behind, because he will get nuked down. So, Pain Gaming. We had a Dazzle and a Venomancer being removed, so I think Na'Vi US were a little bit more concerned about...
10 seconds.
Well, you could have actually just left the Venomancer alone in the bottom lane, and with the Dazzle together with another hero on the top, it's a lot of damage, and also survivability for an aggro tri-lane. Pain Gaming could have attempted something like that. We did see them attempt an aggro tri-lane yesterday. Didn't really end the way they would have really wanted it to. AKA, they got snapped back pretty hard. But in this series, even up against a VS and a Lion, it'll be annoying, but VS and Lion still have a lot of kill potential. Alright. A Terrorblade. How are they going to try and combo with this? Do they try and use him as a pushing power? Because Terrorblade does some really hideous damage. I say hideous as in really good. I can say that sick, but fully sick. Style of damage towards towers. But it's how you want to lane him. So far, the only Terrorblades I've seen being played have just been safe lanes. They've been safe lane Terrorblades. Normally, not a lot of support's required. Just a hovering support hero. Doesn't need to be two, just the one. Someone to give it a little bit of a tip of balance in favor of the Terrorblade. And then he just turns on his DPS. And a hero like Centaur going in offlane for that, I'm not really seeing the joy in it at all.
10 seconds remaining.
As we now get a Mirana up from Pain Gaming, so they've got their long-range initiation with arrows. They don't really have the greatest setup for it, though. Terrorblade isn't going to be slowing down or stunning up your targets. Skywrath Mage, you can slow him down a little bit, but not enough to ensure a Mirana arrow connection. And Na'Vi actually go for a Nature's Prophet here. A lot of meat shields. I'll say a level, not a level 1 Roshan, but an early Roshan potential is there for Na'Vi US. Pain Gaming now with their 4th hero pickup, and it'll be the Earthshaker. So it looks like an aggro tri-lane coming out from them. To give the space for the Terrorblade to go one-on-one up against the Centaur, rely on the Terrorblade's Metamorphosis to give him that bonus damage to zone the Centaur out, and then Mirana, Earthshaker, arrows to connect. Obviously, Fissure into arrow. Not the easiest way to always guarantee a connection. But the Skywrath Mage with the Concussor Shot as well, after the Fissure will connect to the early points. If you can get all 3 of those to connect onto one hero, be it the VS or the Lion, they should go down. And Na'Vi just need to get a choice right now for their last hero. How they want to approach this. Is it going to be an escape hero? Is it going to be a safe lane for them? Do they even try and dodge? Run Nature's Prophet on the safe lane? They can't do that because you got a Prophet and a Centaur, which actually kind of screws things up a little bit. It's almost like we're going to see a Korok mid-solo Nature's Prophet. But that doesn't make as much sense. It's a lot of rune control, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's really sustainable up against this lineup of Pain. And when they do rotate, the Nature's Prophet's quite easy to catch out in that middle lane. There's no escape mechanisms. So Na'Vi US right now, it's a very questionable lane. You could try and run the Prophet as a safe lane, put the Centaur onto the off lane, and then at the Lion, the VS. With 3 range heroes, you can probably inflict a large portion of damage, but they ban out the Spectre, they ban out the Void. Pain Gaming are thinking that that is going to be a mid lane Prophet and an off lane Centaur with a safe lane Spectre. I know Fogged only likes to pick that hero up when he gets backed into a corner, but I don't know if Na'Vi are really backed into a corner here. Their initiation's quite good. Their burst damage is quite good. They need a little bit more control over on their Terrorblade, however. That's where my major problem is going to be coming in. Terrorblade's split push power with his illusions is really strong. And Na'Vi don't have anything really great up against that. They do have Mana Drain from the Lion, so it might be worth actually getting some early levels into that to get rid of those early illusions of Terrorblade. It's a lot easier than having to commit like a Scythe of Vice into these illusions to get rid of them, or attacking them directly. Just Mana Drain 1, they instantly go down, and a Sven will be the final selection here from Na'Vi US. A large amount of stun coming out from them, and yeah, I get a funny inkling that this is actually meant to be a dodging aggro tri-lane. They could leave it as a safe lane farmer, but Sven, Lion, and VS together up against an Earthshaker, Mirana, Skywrath Mage. Be an interesting battle. But then you'd be pushing Terrorblade either in towards the mid lane up against a Prophet or the off lane up against the Centaur. I think Terrorblade is still going to be happy going one-on-one with the Centaur. Because it just turns into a farm fest. And then he'll use these illusions or Metamorphosis just to zone out the Centaur. So there's no massive problem with this. There's Pain Gaming now with their final selection. I wonder if you guys can hear that too. I want to see if it picks up. And now it's going to stop. The Puck, the final selection up here from Pain Gaming. Now we still have to see who's going to be the primary cause here. It will actually be Excalibur as a core. They're not going to just throw him into into a support role and say just try and survive here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are hearing the fireworks in the side. It's rather distracting. But it seems like there's a party tonight. Like last night. There was a wedding. There was a Turkish wedding just around the corner. That was a lot of drinking and noise. You could hear it from over here in the offices. Anyway. So we're into our game. Looks like, as always, we have ourselves a wonderful pause at the very, very start of the game before we start off. So before DR is the Terror Blade. We'll have King Red Marana, Baja Skywrath Mage. That puts Ned into... Ned is the role of Skywrath Mage. Baja will be taking up the role as the Earthshaker. And that leaves Grant as the last one as the Puck. And then for Na'Vi US, they're going to have Sneaking. He'll be taking up that role as Nature's Prophet in this game. And looks like they are going to give him the mid-solo, early null Talisman, pull a Tango. Korok then will pick up the Centaur. And he'll take it towards the off lane with Boots. Also a set of Tangos and just an Observer Ward. So he's the man being asked to do the third role tonight. And then up towards the top lane, Excalibur going into the #1 role for Na'Vi US. Pressure on the big man. Or, actually, he's quite small. Vengeful Spirit to be played up by Fogged. And, of course, sporting the lovely Vengeful Spirit outfit. Walking down the runway with the crown of the Merciless. And then we have Lion as the last one, being played by Ragnarok, the last support. While on the bottom lane, looks like Pain Gaming. They're hovering around trying to protect the jungle for the moment. Korok, I think all he wants to do is just get a ward just here. That's his goal. Then again, last time I saw Korok come down here, he put the ward a little bit further down. Like, he put it down in here so he could see a little bit deeper inside the lane. As opposed to watching the runes. And the runes really are the primary thing you should be searching for. This Observer Ward now being planted down. They're going to watch Korok like a hawk. He's gonna come and try and contest up for the 18-minute rune. That Treant's going to time out. So there's going to be no contest for it. It should belong to him. I don't know if Korok wants to actually stand a little bit further down. He's like, can you just stand in that spot, man? Because if someone walks in, they don't see anything. You're blind to everybody. Now, 1 second. The rune is going to be right on top of it. And now Ned. Oh, it's an Invis rune. Korok's still able to get a secondary attack off before he ends up getting into the Invis, while the bounty rune taken by Lion on the top. So bonus 50 experience for him and a little bit of extra cash. And Korok can now just use his body to block this up. Can use his body to block it to start with, and then drop the ward shortly after. In fact, he's just going to drop the ward now. No delay with it whatsoever. Because he did have the Invis rune, like, maybe he was trying to just reveal the fact that, or keep it hidden, the fact he could have blocked that with his body, so they wouldn't just use a sentry ward straight away, but he brought himself in range of the Observer Ward too early. So, no mind games like that. Just the old-fashioned battling it up. With the return from Korok, he doesn't have a stout shield, but Ned's not going to win. He can definitely contest in this battle, but he won't win it hands down. Because Korok just comes in really close and pumps out a lot of deeps. But the consumable battle, yeah, that's probably where it hurts some more. Because Ned's still got clarities as well as just one Tango left, but he's going to keep his distance and then throw the damage out. And his only objective right now is to buy space for 40R. On Excalibur on this top lane, he's still having a little bit of trouble. King Red's not giving him an easy time. Went off lane with an Earthshaker. Wow, how classic is this? Oh, Korok. There's not enough mana for another orb, and I think that's the reason why he's being a little over-aggressive. He has it at level 2, but he's most definitely searching for first blood over on Ned. But now Ned, he's got his orb again. The clarity will be cancelled by the creep wave. And Korok's just running down the river. Does tank up a hell of a lot, and Ned looking very low on life too. Korok with those tangos, they both use their last consumables. He has to bring out something more to himself right now, and there's a set of tangos on the courier for him. But Ned's only got one orb left, but he'll manage to pick up this 2-minute rune. His timing is perfect to move up, zone out the Centaur to keep him inside the lane, and then rotate up for the for the 2-minute rune. That's a nice double damage one for him. Well, looks like Baja, the Fissure, just try and play around a little bit here with Fog. The Earthshaker did pick up the bounty rune. Now, it sounded like Nature's Prophet was for a moment going to TP in there to try and help out, but right now Snakey's trying to make sure he just wins that middle lane. There's so much on the line here with this best of 3. If you lose this, you're out of the D2CL. They must win. Like, these two teams, if they're going to go all the way through to the big land finals at DreamHack Bucharest, they will require themselves to win not only this game, but the next two. There's 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 in total. Korok, you know he wants it. Concussive Shot will buy Ned some space here, but minimal damage coming into Korok with that. And the movement speeds wise, Korok knows he can actually outrun Ned. And that's why he's asking for Prophet to come in. Into the tree line, over towards the Saz, care for the blast, and he'll be killed off by the neutral. You can see the second sneaking was summoning up those treants. But he was going to keep the attack coming that way, which was exactly the direction that the Skywrath Mage is getting out there. So Skywrath will successfully deny himself up. Ragnarok, he'll find King Red. The Hex to start with. He does have to follow up Earth Spike. Fog also waiting here. The Fidget to be thrown, but it's actually the Centaur who's going down to first spot. The Storm Bolt will fly over to King Red. So Na'Vi US will be able to pick up a kill here, but Centaur dying on the offlane. Korok, yo man, no. They're too much extra gold away. And now a smoke up by the Skywrath Mage. Looks like he was going to come in towards the mid lane, try and help up against Snaking, but Grant can be really careful. The Sprout's going to, he's got no phase shift out of here. He's bottle charging up. The orb attack is going to be there. The phase shift, it's now on cooldown. He's bottling enough. But Lion, the Hex, he'll actually just follow up with a stun.
Your actions are...
Puck being a little bit too greedy there with his abilities. Wanted to save his phase shift so he's capable of getting out, but he had enough mana for both a phase shift as well as orb away to safety. Obviously, phase shift not costing anything. But the bottle charge just gave him the mana for it. It's like he didn't notice that Ragnarok was moving down. The Observer Wall, which is sitting up here on top of the cliff, it spotted it out a long time ago. A little bit of just awareness.
Tis mine.
Sealing the death there of the Puck. And that now goes 3-1 on the board. Of course, though, 4DR is now level 5.5 as a Terrorblade with 20 for 12 as a CS. And Korok, not looking too healthy, but the VS comes in, stunning over on Ned. Prophet going to TP in as well. Ned, he's got no more mana left, and that'll be his death. Sneaking was about to use a Sprout and then realized physical DPS would be enough. And poor Korok. He kind of has to go back to base right now. Fog can give him a shared tango, but that's not going to be enough. Snaking, he's got himself a Sal for him. That works. I think Ragnarok's waiting for Prophet's TP to be back off cooldown. Then again, there's a Wrath of Nature. I'm not saying he can solo kill this middle lane, but if he could chip him down a little bit with a full hit Wrath of Nature, you could do a lot of damage. To a point of at least forcing the Puck out of the lane. I know he's got 3 bottle charges. No, even then, they needed an extra one. They couldn't kill him with just that. 40R. Well, 15 seconds until Metamorphosis will come back off cooldown again. They got more help coming to top lane as well. Fogged.
Denied.
Looping himself around, trying to look for King Red. Prophet ulti, it's Wrath of Nature, bottom lane. Korok, the Fidget's well off target.
Earth, take you.
And they're dropping down very low with all of that. But not enough to have him dead. I think he's waiting. Nature's Prophet snaking, running bottle charges. He's already used his Wrath of Nature and doesn't own a TP scroll. And Ned's munching on Tango, so he's not the easiest hero in the world to kill. The Terrorblade's not looking too healthy either. He actually just ends up purchasing a salve. He doesn't have any basic consumables, but it'll take a while before that salve is going to come out to him. Sakuri's too busy delivering one Observer Ward over to Ned. Well, heroes like Lion now never have to go back to base. With Tranquil Boots as well as Mana Drain, you're pretty much good to go forever. You'll steal the regeneration rune, so there's no joy for Ned for that one. That would have really helped him stay on the lane. He might just spam out the remaining part of his mana. Let's say remaining, he's got the whole kit. With only 250 life points, it's not a lot to play around with. And coming close to a line, he's got a lot more space there in the middle lane. You'll never be 100% certain when he's going to crack level 6. And that's what they are trying to search for with this line in the middle. It's the reason why they're giving him that space. He's already found his basic farm. As he misses the last hits here. Like, just use your stun, man. Like, you have drain, just... Okay, maybe not. All 3 last hits going to be missed. But the level 6 is the important thing for him. It's the Finger of Death. The early burst damage never really allowed Terrorblade to get that... Sunder, without having to look at it. Sunder, off and running. King Red, easy disjoint, and with the Fisher support from Basha, getting a kill on that top lane for Excalibur is never really going to happen. It just becomes a bit of a waste of mana. Cooldown of an ability. I'm actually even going to give him the salve right now. So 7 minutes in, Prophet going to TP himself up to the top lane. She cancels it. The Stormbolt will connect this time around. Fog with the following up Magic Missile. We still have no Wrath of Nature. Now pops on through, and there it is. Finally connects the target, but Grant comes in for the perfect Dream Call. Holding Excalibur there. They're trying to reach Barja in the tree line. They'll be successful as Excalibur. Those bottle charges are actually coming up from sneaking, giving them to Fogged. And that finger of death from Lion came in at the right time. 3 heroes quickly dropping on the top. And they're going to try and force the tier 1 tower up here. Not enough mana for summoning a Treants, because he gave the life points and the mana over to Fogged instead. So they'll just they'll have to bring down the tower the old-fashioned way. That's now 7-2 in favor of Na'Vi US, pushing their advantage quite nicely ahead, but they've still got 4 DR, forcing this bottom lane. One melee illusion on the front lines, and then the Rangers out the other way. While Korok, they're just... Yeah, there isn't enough damage coming out from this Terrorblade right now. Remember, he always needs to have that one person. Just the hero that makes things happen for him. Korok, and you got to give him props for confidence. Denied. Considering Dreamcall is down, I can understand it. And what's really going to happen? Concussive shot, orb attacks with a fissure. The Centaur is pretty damn tanky. With Tranquil Boots and a Stout Shield, almost 1,000 life points, that's enough. Bottom lane Fogged. No level 6, he's about to crack it. If one creep died around him and have it. Now the Moonlight Shadow's been triggered. The Horde Stomps, they don't know where he is anymore. They have to back up. No one brought Dust. Snaking was too busy buying his Hand of Midas, so he didn't have money for it. And the Vengeful Spirit's walking around right now with 980 gold. They'll deny the bottom tier 1 tower.
Dire's bottom tower has
I'm interested to see what Fogged is doing with his cash. Unless he feels the need to pick up Arcane Boots for his side. It's not really required because you've already got your 1 bottle up and running. Excalibur might want a little bit of extra mana, but he can also rely on the Lion as well as Vengeful Spirit just to do the normal stuns anyway. And it actually looks like a, okay. Early Medallion. I did find during the drafting stage that it was going to be a an early Roshan because of the fact they do have a, like a Nature's Prophet, they're going to be power leveling up. They got an opening. Swap up after the stun. Korok. Too late. If he only got that Hoof Stomp, they'd have to kill, but he'll get himself in range for the double edge. The Wave of Terror. Just double edge him. Ah, concussive shot. Now Grant's going to make his way in here. He'll put the Dream Call over on Fog, trying to use the trees to hide himself, but it's not going to work. He takes the stun, and he will drop. He gives a negative damage aura over the puck, but it's so low and so low anyway. Snaking, trying to have a crack here, Grant. He can't get the kill though. There's too much mana in the puck. Oh, Excalibur's now free farming up the top lane. The arrow flying in. Rather difficult to get any kind of advantage from that kind of like range between the Fog of the War and when it will connect on the hero. Central ulti now going to be used. They just run the middle lane. That line, no mana for a Finger of Death. Actually, no mana for anything. Now he's got the Earth Spike. But they've lost the Centaur behind the tower. Very weird time to initiate just then. Diving well behind the tower. They didn't have Wrath of Nature. Without the mana in the Lion, they couldn't get just the quick pick off and back up. Which I got a funny feeling was the plan here. And now he's just got to keep his distance. They fortify to try and slow it down. The Centaur can't TP in, doesn't have a TP scroll. And they're not ready to fight this. They let the tier 1 tower go. As the second tier 1 tower take a fall, Excalibur, he's about to pick up his Morbid Mask. I mean his Mask of Madness. And with that, they can just pop into the Roche Pip. But they've got to have Pain looking behind themselves right now. And, well, they're not really. And the arrow's having a look. Looks like it's able to connect over on Korok. Fog, he's got a swap available, but that's not going to help his teammate. It will, however, make Grant just throw a Dream Call in the middle of nowhere. The bottom lane for Na'Vi US is about to be hit. Moonlight Shadow, the Seal's going to go on the Lion. The Fissure, the Seal, there's no Mystic Flare. Well, actually, it's not level 6, that's the reason why. They dropped the Sentry Wars just in case anyone's moving around if it's around, which obviously they are. Finger of Death. Okay, well, there goes your Skywrath Mage, and level 6 for him, sneaking into the tree line, trying to hide it out. These Treants trying to use to block out 40R. The Sneakin's got no way out here now. He's finally got the mana. Baja, Fissure. Oh, just in time. That TP was in the last fraction of a second. The Lion did still end up going down. Looks like he actually died back at base. But he got a solo kill over on the Skywrath Mage. I'm not going to say that is in any way, shape, or form worth it. But as far as Na'Vi US goes, you still actually had a Sven farming up on the top lane. They gave a crack in middle lane. King Red, there's no jumping out this one. They will combine the Hoof Stomp as well as the double edge correctly this time around with Fog getting the first stun in. Before, well, yeah, Leap was already used. Hence that swap was even more efficient. But Na'Vi US are pulling a lot out of the other 2 lanes while they were losing the 2 on the bottom. And now these pings are coming up from Mirana saying we should be checking this out. The Mirana arrows is the best scouting mechanism they've got. This is taking too long. They need more DPS in here. Ragnarok is trying to just hold this bottom lane off for the moment. And snaking, I don't think you can finish this, man. Especially when Roshan's doing this to you. Oh, he just keeps getting bashes. Sting is just going to TP back to base. Like, he's bottling up at the moment to summon a new army of Treants, but without help, he can't finish this. There it is. He's actually TPing into the jungle because he's got a Hand of Midas, which he has to use.
Warriors of the wood.
He's also got a Wrath of Nature available too, which, there we go, just pumping that money. Hit nicely on King Red. Excalibur will never get a Stormbolt over on the Mirana, not unless she's already used Leap. Hence he just holds back on the mana. No need to waste. There's now Korok as well as Ragnarok. Look to the bottom lane, but there's no real hero down here. And Terrorblade just disappears. The bounty ring going to be bolted up here by King Red. I think Puck was actually looking for those extra charges. The Moonlight Shadow and walk up to the high ground. If they kill Fogged here, then this isn't worth it. They've committed Moonlight Shadow and a lot of time of 4 heroes. Well, on the bottom lane, you've got 3 heroes about to push their tier 1 tower, and Fogg's actually back behind the tier 2 now. I don't know if they're actually in range of that Dire Observer wall, but can definitely flag the fact that they are nowhere near any of the heroes or anyone in the lanes. The fact that tier 1 tower is being pressured right now with no one defending it means that more than likely on the other side of the map there's some kind of aggression. The Sprout actually gives them the perfect vision anyway. That was just to see if anyone was trying to TP in to stop them, which they're not. They're just hanging up on top lane. And snaking. He'll TP himself in towards the middle lane. I'm not sure about this commitment from Pain Gaming. I know what they want to do. They want to get kills and just keep moving forward. Excalibur will TP himself out. But the trade-off right now for Pain Gaming, it's a tier 1 for tier 1. But they commit 5 heroes to do so. When Na'Vi US, they use 3 heroes to push out that lane. And they're still farming up mid. They're still farming up the Radiant jungle. Yes, they will lose their tier 1 tower. Fortify. Waste of time. They could have just delayed them up a little bit longer. But they're going to come in and go for Roshan now. Just overall, Pain Gaming, it just doesn't feel like they're winning on these trades for now. I know the Terrorblade is still the biggest hero on the map by 1,000 gold. Going for Yasha and Drums together. It's going to be a very, very hard to fight Terrorblade. And 40R, well, he wants to battle up against Snaking. Looks like he'll actually get this kill rather easily on Snaking. Well, Na'Vi US did finish up Roshan, but that just shows you how much damage a Terrorblade is capable of dishing out. Sunder not required because he never dropped that low. But it's going to be worse for Na'Vi US once that Mana Style is up and running. Because that's a lot of Terrorblade to deal with.
A lucky find.
Now Fogged. Well, you'll notice there's a couple of Terrorblades here. The Wave of Terror will notice instantly which one's the fake Terrorblade. He's only got 1 point up in that reflection, so the illusion damage is still 40%. So they're not as powerful as he would really like, but you don't really care about that until a little bit later. It's all about your metamorphosis and contouring the illusion, as opposed to the reflection. So Ned, waiting on this bottom lane. They're not using Mirana as bait. I think he's just more insurance to make sure the Mirana can farm. Get her up to that BKB. At the same time, if King Red gets hexed up before he gets the BKB charge off, he's going to find himself getting focused down pretty early on. Then again, they kind of want to have their finger of death to go up against the Terrorblade. Or potentially Puck or Skywrath Mage. Either they would love to go on. The Blink Dagger's arriving exactly at the same time for both Puck as well as Lion. So the jump in initiations now there from Na'Vi US. It's a little bit behind schedule for Korok. She's using Moonlight Shadow right underneath the treants on the bottom. The pings just came out saying, "Yo, Sneaking, get your ass back right now." They're right in front of him. He's on the other side of the tree line, but now they break free. Ned attacked once. The arrow off target as well as the seal. Actually flies up and connects on Fogged. 5 seconds on the stun. Ned, the blink in from Ragnarok.
Miss me.
He came in just in time to get the stun off, but it was the Wrath of Nature that got the kill. Bouncing across the map, and Fog should count himself very, very lucky he survives through this. Probably a little bit annoyed he's picked up that urn, but unable to actually get a charge onto it. But now, Invis Rune. Arrow point blank with the Starfall. Easy pickings, but Lion's right behind him. The Earth Spike, and now just draining out the mana. There's no leap, there's no nothing. He could just Finger of Death him at the moment, but he wants to be saving this big ability. It's better to have it as Intimidation, but it's also better to get the kill. So they'll take it. It's a level 2 Finger of Death now available for the Lion as well. And what are we getting in return? Terrorblade almost at mana style. Barsha does have himself that Blink Dagger. Grent walking around with his own Blink, which we did flying before. Ned, he's only got basic boots. It's Arcanes or something. It's another Talisman just to get him through the now. Because he also needs that mana pool to do stuff like that. The seal's coming way too late, and Ned's now blown everything he's got apart from just a basic right click, and that means he's dead. There's no way to really follow up with any kind of return damage either. And Grant can sit there and watch him, but no Dream Call, no Orb, no Rift was going to really save his teammate then. They just went too deep. He had to back up. The second he threw that Mystic Flare, that was it. Especially when he didn't get the seal off beforehand. It was up to the rest of his team to do the damage, and now Korok puts the Blink to work at the puck. I don't know why Grant hung around a little bit too long there. Look at himself picked off, and now Na'Vi US are going to be pushing themselves a long way ahead. For all the fun they're picking up over on Terrorblade, there's a big primary counter to all of this, and it's the Lion's mana drain. He actually put 4 points up into this. So a 5-second cooldown. So every 5 seconds he'll remove another one of these illusions of the Terrorblade. Which makes the pushing potential of Terrorblade actually quite small. The farming potential is still very, very good. But actually breaching into the high ground or keeping the side lanes pressured out, now Lion can actually do something about that. He was already pretty damn good with having his Earth Spike, because it's a nice area of effect kind of thing. Like a Lion stun. And most of the time, you're not going to be moving the Terrorblade illusions nicely microed and space out across the lane. Only just like right-click, like attack move this direction. These runes getting controlled. Snaking now with the DD rune inside of him. The arrow will fly, snaking. Okay, dude, Ward, you see these things coming unless he was buying something. But now with Starfall to connect, he can sprout and try and keep the vision out, but King Red's already able to get that last attack over. And the kill in return. The Hex to start with, the follow-up stun here by Ragnarok, and then he actually gets himself a double stun with the cleave damage! That puck drops so low, the VS stun will connect. Gren should count himself very, very lucky then. He put himself in just that situation you never want to be in. It's almost like one of those Marvel vs. Capcom kind of things. Assist! Oh, no, 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 no! One ball! One ball combo! That's what Excalibur got, especially when he triggered God Strength and Mask of Manas at that time. They'll lose the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane here, Na'Vi US. And that's the pushing power. Oh, 40R! Hoofstorm cancels his TP. He's got no other choice to fight, but then again, Fogged is really part of this. It's taking too much damage, and Korok as well. Maybe it's not a bad idea to turn and fight. There's more support rotating up. You'll see Fogged in the tree lines. It's a magic missile stun, but Fogged on 19 life points. He'll learn charge up. Now your Echo Slam, but the Orchid from sneaking, stopping any kind of follow-up, but it doesn't really matter from Baja, because the rest of the team of Pain Gaming are here. Triple kill for 40R. And now Centaur, well, he's not going to be happy with that stun going the way it did. They get an entire team wipe against them. An ultra kill coming up here from Pain. And a full genocide. They've just pumped so much money into Terrorblade. A guy who probably thought he'd never go into something like a Radiance, but now he's actually capable of doing it. He's actually going for something scarier and just go directly into the Skadi here. There'll be too many life points for Na'Vi US to really deal with. Leaves the illusion behind. That's enough damage to actually bring down this tower. With the new creep wave and the catapult behind it, the Centaur will deny the tower. But they want to bail out so they could do this. Move over, take the tier 2 tower as quick as they possibly can. Roshan's still down for a while. Where are you TPing to, Snaking? You can go there. He has to go top lane and push it out. And it's just Midas and push, Midas and push. The initiation potential of Na'Vi US is still quite scary. That's why Pain Gaming doesn't want to really overcommit themselves. Which is another reason why I'm wondering if Terrorblade just wants to go directly into the Skadi. I hope he doesn't go in for something like a heart, because you just get the old, like, just some good stats. You've already got him with your drums and your Manta style. I'm picking up a double ultimate orb right now. He just picks up a TP scroll for the moment. Because you're just so far ahead. You're a 705 Terrorblade. And then you're a whole bunch of 705 Terrorblades. With Metamorphosis just forcing out the lanes. And they can chip the range racks. Ned, double edge, has to use central ulti because he needs the bonus damage. And then just runs himself away to safety. So a nice little snipe up there from Korok. While up on the top lane. Ragnarok coming in. Baja letting the fissure. The Prophet is on his way in. The Wrath of Nature connects over on Baja, and they got the follow at Sprat. The Finger of Death will ensure the kill before he can TP himself out, but instead they just rely on the stun. Ragnarok too low on life, but now he's going to turn the Finger into the Puck, who overcommits himself here. And Snaking, King Red looking for some revenge with the Starfall. The extra damage, the bottle charge, keep your Snaking alive for now. 1 second until TP, but he can't do it with King Red that far behind him because the arrow, it'll fly up at the moment, and it hits perfectly.
As a sapling.
He could have also just leapt and attacked. Either would have sufficed. And the pressure is just going to keep being applied by Pain Gaming. And the reason why, I actually had someone tweet me, Gert Dome, who actually tweeted me, asking me why Terrorblade is not even, like, why do they not even permit Terrorblade for tournaments? Terrorblade is permitted for tournaments. Oh, why did they even? You're right. He's actually kind of broken here, but I actually first read that question as like, why don't people actually play that kind of thing? And the primary reason for that is they haven't practiced with it. He is, however, insanely powerful, but sometimes people just want to stick with the synergistic couples they already know.
Invisibility.
And there it is, the full Skadi. Exactly what he should have been looking at. A lot of tank ability, a lot of fighting potential, and really forces Na'Vi US to fight. There's just no other choice for them. They have to get kills.
Allies disappear.
Now, Moonlight Share is going to be used. The Observer Ward is up, but they have no Sentry Ward to reveal out the fact of what's going on. So Pain will get themselves up towards the high ground. However, that Courier is flying rather obviously up and then back down again. And with the Terrorblade Illusion now also appearing on the middle lane, it's going to flag out where they're moving. So the Moonlight Shadow gets wasted a little bit. They're searching for Na'Vi US inside their own jungle. Searching for the rotation timing. But Na'Vi US kind of, they would have to realize that Pain Gaming want to keep trying to find kills. So they just do what their strengths entail, which is a push. That's just split push. Give it to Snaking. Keep that pressure out. Let Korok find a little bit of farm in the lanes. Oh, Korok. That illusion is taking away so much of your life points, man. They just have to wait for the right time to fight. Get pickoffs wherever they can. Grent's actually got himself a really nice ward here. So there's no way for a Lion just to walk himself up through the sideline, just attack directly in towards the mid. It also gets good vision across the pit. Now, Na'Vi US are a little bit too early for Roshan. They have to wait another 10-20 seconds for that. If they wait that long, 40R could just be taking out this tier 3 tower in the top lane, while on bottom lane, Baja, they caught out Snaking. Fissure to Arrow to Orb to Rift to, well, not even that. And he bought a Blink Dagger. He put his buyback on cooldown. There's a lot of confidence in the rest of his team to hold that tier 3 tower because you got that kind of hero moving in. Korok can't go for the double edge. He'll die if he does do so. He's able to Hoof Stomp and just slow down the illusions for a little bit. Well, there's a chase coming out from the Puck with a haste rune from a Lion. And the Blink Dagger is able to run himself away to safety. 35 seconds left on this Nature's Prophet. And 40R will TP himself back. The Metamorphosis is wearing off in a moment. Another good reason to back up, but they could just walk in. Roshan's alive now. And Na'Vi US will be aware of this because he has reached his maximum spawn timer. You see him just mopping up those illusions, both Hex as well as Mana Drain. Normally you don't want to be committing both of those things, that's why it's only kind of like Mana Drain. The Hex cooldown is just too long, 18 seconds for each illusion you'll take away. Now on bottom lane, this range racked has already taken a fall. That's just the chip damage of the illusions which come in. Fog, he's got to stop it. So Ragnarok, just Mana Drain it. Boom, got him. And they found Korok. Mystic Flare to get the kill.
Strange time to hibernate.
Even committing the Dream Call to that too. Now, do they want to push high ground here? Potentially could happen, but Na'Vi US won't come out to them. They really should be looking at Roshan. You put Nagus the Maul into the back of this Terrorblade, and this game is over. The arrow, 5 seconds online. 40R brings multiple versions of himself in. The Stormbolt from Excalibur is just buying some space here for Ragnarok. So they mop up the illusions. The split push still working nicely from Snaking. He didn't actually blink himself into the tree line. This I'm not as agreeable to. But summoning a new set of Treants and just letting them force the top lane. And then just, like, TPing yourself out. Wisest thing you could probably do right now. But he probably wants to know where they are moving. Because if they're not on the bottom lane, like, there's a Terrorblade illusion here. But if he could actually do an interception, that'll make it so much more worth it now. The pinks might come out in the top lane saying he's doing this. Now, if Na'Vi US don't do anything to stop... if Pain don't do anything to stop this... Who's coming in? Ah, it's the Mirana. With the Wrath of Nature as well as the Orchid, potentially you could have a crack to kill him off. But they're not going to. And Roshan gets aggroed out of his pit, but... Pain Gaming have no desire whatsoever to finish this guy. Not yet. Maybe when Terrorblade finishes his next tier 3 item, they'll consider pushing in. The Brazilians are just taking no chances right now. They want a chance just to come out and win this. That's all it really is. They want to have a crack at the Consolation Final, potentially more, but they may be giving a little bit too much space here to Na'Vi US. So Roshan's already being attacked at the moment. The Wrath of Nature trying to do some early chip damage. Connects on Ned. The Hop Stomp! Korok hits it magically! The double kill comes in for him. They take Roshan. The Aegis Immortal into his Ven, who's also got a Chrysalis, so his cleave damage, not to mention his basic damage with God Strength, goes through the roof. It's only the 2 supports to go down, but that's all it really takes. And now they found another one. Again, he's able to actually, well, phase shift out. But that won't save him. He'll hit the deck and gets crushed so quickly. Ragnarok, now in comes that Terrorblade. Real problems. There's gems all over the ground here in the mid lane. King Red's going to pick up both of them. Korok wants to jump back into him. He's waiting for the BKB to wear off. Excalibur as well looking for the opening. And Korok's going to force stuff and TP out to safety now that the arrow is well off target. But Na'Vi US losing the gem there. That wasn't really part of their plan. But they still did get the kill trade-off they were searching for. Fog, what are you doing, man? Just walking directly past a bunch of Terrorblades. He had no vision of what was there in the lane, but still, he's going to go down the illusions. Someone stop this Terrorblade. He's 905 on a Terrorblade. And they're just giving him more money. The bounty is real. Oh, Na'Vi US. This is not the way they saw this night going. Now, they might be heading experience there. Behind in gold, they are dragging it back, obviously, because those kills they give away so much. But the Terrorblade is getting close to a point where he's just going to be able to 5-man, 1v5 the entire Na'Vi US lineup. And with just a little bit of extra control, it may be enough. I still don't know why Grant Yule stepped it himself. Because it just allowed Na'Vi US to get themselves into position. Unless it was just buying time for Terrorblade to arrive. That's the other option. TP scroll, or what else is he going to buy? TP scroll, but he wants something else. With 5.5k gold. Potential butterfly coming up soon too. I've really got to flag the fact that 40R is getting really damn big. And well, the plate mail is actually coming in from King Red. So the Assault Cuirass will be his choice. That's actually a full BKB for 40R. I'm not sure about this. I'm really not so sure about this. Because the Hoof Stomp is still going to stop him. And the physical DPS, which will be coming in the later portion of the game, Nature's Prophet still walking around with 4.2k gold. Physical DPS isn't there right now. But you have yourself as Ven, who has 3 points up in God Strength. And looks like he's just going to build directly into a Daedalus. And that kind of damage will cleave through your illusions. The BKB won't protect you as much.
Then.
And the Moonlight Shadow's being used. It's like top lane. Korok, the Orchid, trying to actually help out, but a blink away by Snaking. He just had to bail out of that one. Now the bottom lane, the arrow, not going to hit on Excalibur. The creep wave was there, but you got 40R. He's in range of that tower, and now the stun. Try and buy some space. Fog swapping him up for BKB, triggered by Excalibur, and they got the stun on 40R. Finger of Death as well. That's a lot of money to be given over right there. And they're searching for more into the trees. The Sprout will go Ned. Drops off the Mystic Flare, but they all tank it up together. So the 2 hero is dropping. You gonna give me my thing? No, you're not. The change is actually not as much for killing off that Terrorblade as much as I thought it was going to be. Unless there's a new updated kind of thing which is coming in. They definitely got a lot from that. Korok's trying to already force his middle lane. He doesn't really have great regeneration. It doesn't also help the fact he had to buy back during that for the kill. But the tier 1 tower would go down the middle lane because this Terrorblade does have enough money for a buyback. But this is also what I'm talking about, with the amount of damage which can come into the Terrorblade.
Radiant's middle tower
It might have been better just going for a more of a stat-focused item. Or something with the extra evasion. It's not as great, obviously, because you're gonna have Scythe of Fire, so you already got your Hex. But still. There's your Scythe of Ice now over on Snaking. That's going to force the tier 2 tower now. Excalibur's Ghost Strength's coming off cooldown in a moment. They give him mana, but it's only enough for a War Cry, not a God Strength. And he should be saving this anyway, even though it's only 80 seconds on cooldown. They drop the Sentry Ward, expecting someone to be right behind them. As the Nature's Prophet will get picked off on the off lane. As I think the stat was nice sneaking just then. Grant, Orb Stomp, double edge, the puck's going to go down. And they'll back themselves up. Where did Prophet die? I assume he got blasted by the Satyr and it gave him the extra damage to finish him off. While bottom lane, Ragnarok, 4-star TP up, but he's not running away from this one, the Fisher. They'll lock him there and the gem will get dropped again. He wanted to get away with the gem snipe. Couldn't get it properly though. The Terrorblade comes back into the fight, but it was the Skywrath managed to get the kill. Another pickup over on the puck. It's not blinking, you're sitting only on that puck. The controller build is coming out from Nature's Prophet now. That's a hell of a lot better for them. And this gem's just depriving them all of vision. Korok, he's got 4-star, but now Blade Mail as well. He wanted Ned to basically blow his load on him, and he actually did. The Wave of Terror. Magic Missile that just kill a Barjar instead. He'll let go Slam and Fogged, trying to deny himself up to the Hellbears. He needs to be attacked once more by it, but not going to happen. In fact, they just stopped for a moment. Korok, well, the ping came out to the tree line. They're saying he might be in there, but now he 4-stars down. The Ghost are trying to evade it, but the Skadi Slow is still going to affect him. The arrow's on the way too. Korok narrowly dodging that one, and only just having his Blink Dagger coming off cooldown. There's also that attack from the Terrorblade. Flew after him. I think Snaking's considering a jump. Wrath of Nature is up, remember. And with Excalibur, jump in. He's got to get the Hex to start with. He's not committing the Orchid just yet because King Red's now going to arrive. Now, they don't have Stormbolt available, but Wrath of Nature and Orchid are still there. But they might be worried there's a little bit more support in the way. So the rest of Na'Vi US just TP themselves back out again. But a good little snipe off. Keeping the advantage very close between these two teams. 24-25 now on the board. As Korok and Ned. Oh, Korok. He'll evade the Mystic Flare. Look at the DPS from him. He actually hits quite hard. 4-star down, then another 4-star up. Blink in. Korok getting stunned up by the Fidget. Now he turns the Blade Mail on. He can hoof stop himself up, but it's like Ned's still very happy to throw out that concussor shot, pick up the kill, and then just get himself back to base safely. Centaur being very over-aggressive. And 40R, what are you going for next? I'm still enjoying the butterfly, but he might consider going for a high considering amount of damage which is coming out from Sven. He may just need the raw stats, the raw life points. His armor's already good enough at 20, well, you can see at 26 and then just bumps up to 30. He's able to get in range of that AC. Snaking, TPing himself as quickly as he can. The H is getting mobbed up by a Terrorblade. Fox going to just scout out a couple of them. All the melee boys walking over. Excalibur with a full Deadless now completed. Easily able to clean these guys up. I want to really consider going in for that Monkey King bar next if that is going to be a butterfly up from the Terrorblade. Because racking up the deeps right now is all Sven has to do. Like, he's got his BKB. While it would be wonderful for him to have a heart, the only thing he might want to do is like a casual Vit booster. But that's only if he's getting really concerned about being below 2,000 life points. He's sitting at 2.5k gold at the moment. Not willing to spend his cash because his buyback, obviously, without it, it's not. His team's going to have a hard time defending. But they can keep going on that split push, which is exactly what's going on. Snaking. Forcing to the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane if he can reach it in time. Ragnarok's just sticking with him. Just in case. Red's going to keep this middle lane pushed in with his orb, but The damage from Excalibur's keeping that lane also. Forced straight back out again. Does Excalibur have enough confidence to pick up another Demon Edge here?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Someone get rid of these illusions. Snaking still having his escort. Ragnarok's hiding in the tree lines with level 3 Finger of Death. So the cooldown's only 40 seconds, which is wonderful for him. He just wants to jump anyone he could find, but they're going to find instead Snaking. It is a full butterfly. So no real surprise there at all. And he sells the drum so he can keep hold of his TP scroll. Now they call it sneaking. Dream Call, has to use it. But Grant, Mystic Flare, Echo Slam. So he tried to go for the control. As Ragnarok goes back into the tree line and will TP himself out to safety. Now Snaking just has no vision of this, and he can't. Like, the gems over on Ned means this jungle gets dewatered every single time. Becomes a waste of his wards to do so. Roshan now only 14 seconds away. That's one way to farm in safety. 4-star for Siege Creep. That's a new one. Korok's back into his farm again. Ghost Scepter and Blade Mail. It's like he just wants to be the punching bag. Take as much of the brunt as he can endure, and then allow the Savannah, the Nature's Prophet, to move freely around there with the Lion getting a pick off on. He wants the puck more than anybody else. The Terror Blade kind of has to come down to the Savannah and the Prophet. Thus the burst damage from the Finger of Death is, well, it's really, really good. It's not enough to kill this Terror Blade, not with his level of farm right now. This guy's sitting in a flat 30 armor by himself with 2.6k in the life points, and he'll move in and find Roshan too. And this is a very simple, very, very simple farm. Until he gets bashed up completely, but what's Na'Vi US even really going to do about this? They're going to come in and contest Roshan. They're in no position to do so. At least the Mirana's not there. Maybe they are just flagging that things are wrong. So Snaking to send some of these trees down to the pit. He actually triggers the sprout and sees 40R inside of it. But that ping came up from Mirana saying, yo guys, like, they know we're here, the Wave of Terror. She helping him out by dropping the armor of Roshan, but 40R does not want to do this while he's being watched. That swap from Fogged, you can see the range of it right there. It's not as amazing. If this was actually a level 3 swap, he could swap anyone inside that pit up to basically death zone. So far away from the rest of his team. And the Moonlight Shadow has been triggered. But they're not finding any advantage from this. In fact, Na'Vi already just backed themselves up. The TP, the Prophet towards top lane. They'll summon an army of trees. He wants that tier 2 tower being pressured. So Pain Gaming do want to take Roshan, but to take a big trade-off. That's their goal right now. 40 hours walking up. That Observer Ward's watching him perfectly. This little guy right here. Quality of investment.
Dire's
Now the Wrath of Nature's going to go. Yo, Courier, why you be dying? Terrorblade Illusion. Caught a little bit further back. Now Baja getting stunned up, Fogged. I think he really wants to try and fight this one. He's actually going to swap him up here. Forced out the way, but the double silence hit on Excalibur. Yeah, this BKB to break free, but Fogged will go down. The tier 2 tower will be taken by Snaking at the same time.
Tower has fallen.
So a little bit of tip for tat, and the VS doesn't actually have buyback. But Snaking's pressure on the top lane, they can't push high ground. So even though the VS is down, they must TP someone back to defend up against this push. Because these treants have just come in and add their pressure. Are they letting it go? Snaking's hitting into it as well. They're going to try and finish up Roshan. The TP's coming back by Baja with his Echo Slam. He's actually TP'd in towards the mid tower, so he can Echo Slam and initiate onto Snaking. That's his goal right now. 4-star up. There's your Echo Slam. Snaking just far enough away. He'll go for the Hex. He'll need the Orchid and then just a straight TP out. Baja will break free. In fact, so will King Red. Leaps up. Fissure the arrow well off target. And then the Centauroli, not enough movement speed for Snaking to escape, but they will be able to get themselves into the pit. Roshan killed by the Terror Blade, and now he'll just turn to find Excalibur. He actually picked up the cheese from this one. Try and man mode up against 40R. Needs some space, and the Sprout will provide that. Excalibur. There's a regeneration room for him as well, being picked up, just sitting there in the lane. So he regenerates up. The Stormbolt will be flying. The phase shift will be there to evade the Stormbolt. 40R already at the Aegis. He will trigger. They try and drain a little bit more mana around him. Snaking the arrow hits perfectly. Baja set up with the Totem Stomp.
It was time.
As a yield scepter from Grant bought himself a little bit of space to fight. Excalibur's Warcry connects on both Korok as well as himself, so they're both up very high in the armor, not allowing this physical DPS of Terrorblade to really penetrate. But pitches like this, now they got a 4-star from Fogged. Gets him back up to the high ground. That was it. That was a dieback from the Nature's Prophet. So they know he's not available again. But the puck also did the same. He didn't actually die, but he bought back anyway. The illusions are coming in for the bottom lane. Remember, Lion's the perfect hero to get rid of these. But right now he's here. Well, actually, he's already healed up back at base. Also be the reason why he's paused, because he hasn't come back out again yet. But Na'Vi US now need to hold on and maintain themselves underneath this siege, which is not going to be a simple affair for them. They at least don't have the Echo Slam. Like, what does Pain actually have to breach this high ground? Skyward Mage is too low on mana. Earthshaker also low on mana. And no ultimate. The Dream Call is down, but the puck's got all the mana in the world. The Terrorblade's sitting at now 5k gold, but he did blow the Aegis the Immortal, but he's still more powerful than anybody else in Na'Vi US. And King Red's got an Assault Cuirass as well as Crystals and the BKB on cooldown for the moment. Still enough mana for an Arrow, a Leap, and yeah, he has enough for the full combo. So that's fine. Triggering the BKB as well, piece of piss. Once it comes off cooldown. So yeah, Pain have got what it takes to push high ground and fight this. The melee ranks is obviously looking rather healthy on that bottom lane. Pain Gaming don't really care about this at the moment. If they can bring it down, they'll bring it down. For now, they want that middle tower also on the sideline. It's just step by step, because once the towers go down, the Terrorblade can just lay siege to the base. The Lion can slow it down, but remember, it's a Hex as well as a mana drain. The Hex with an 18-second cooldown, the mana drain with 5 seconds. So getting rid of the illusions isn't as efficient. And these arrows flying in. A lot of TPs actually coming out to the bottom lane. Another quick pause out from Prophet. Whoops, sorry, misclick. All right. They get rid of these illusions as quick as they can to keep that melee Rex alive, but the tier 3 tower being attacked.
Dire's middle
Fogged.
tower is under
He's got a level 2 swap, but no target to really
Dire's
present
middle
itself.
tower has fallen.
And now 40R. He just wants the range Rex, and he'll commit. They're draining out the mana, not fast enough though. Puck comes in for the silence. Korok, Corpse Stomp, actually catching a net and 40R. Follow-up Magic Missile, Ragnarok. He's silenced so he can't get this Finger of Death off. Now he can. He's got the space to do so. Fog being pushed back. They will use the Centauroli to disengage. Keeping all the heroes alive, but not the primary one. This Ven goes down. He'll buy back into the game. The Fortification keeping this range Rex alive for a moment, but 40R, he's really keeping the split going. Ned's moving over, and now the BKB up from the Terrorblade. Look at this damage output. He swapped his life points with Fogged. It's over. GG. This Terrorblade, he is first ban material, really. Na'Vi US will lose their entire team and lose game number 1 here in the best of 3. This is not the way Na'Vi US want to start their best of 3 series, but it's exactly the way Brazil wants to start it. Pain Gaming 1 victory away from advancing themselves into the Constellation Final, and then 2 series victories away from traveling to Bucharest to compete at DreamHack there, which is where the final of the D2CL will be hosted with myself as well as Bucky Mad commentating live your event there. So if you're going to be in Bucharest, come on down and say hi. For now though, we're going to a short break, and I'll see you all back here for game number 2 of this 3-game series.